All right. Caroline? Sorry, I get the... It's okay. It's okay. Well, good morning. This is Ian R. Crane, and this is the 8:30 live stream from the well site, KM8 at Kirby, Misperton in North Yorkshire. And imagine my surprise when I turned up here earlier this morning to find that there's a response to North Yorkshire Police's statement last week that all peaceful protest beyond standing on the side of the road and waving a placard is effectively suspended. Now, for those of you who are aware of the law, of course, the police do not have the fundamental right to suspend Articles 10 and 11 of the Human Rights Convention. And of course, many people will have also seen the footage of the Tactical Support Unit of North Yorkshire Police treating the retirees here with what can only be described as a total lack of dignity and respect. And on top of that, of course, we had the somewhat disturbing footage of North Yorkshire Police effectively bringing Vanda to the ground for a rugby tackle, and this was an inspector who should have known better, and then literally chasing Becca because she was filming the event, and she can be clearly seen in the video footage standing against the hedge and filming, only to be chased, rugby tackled, brought to the ground and subsequently arrested. Well, you know, Dave Jones, and I must confess, I must apologise, I kept calling him Dave Hill last week, and I'm sorry for the conflation, but I was confusing him with the former chief executive of the NHS Humberside Trust, but I'm not going to go into his story right now. But, you know, if you want to look at somebody who was brought in to bring about chaos and disruption, look no further than Dave Hill of NHS Humberside Trust. He's no longer in that position, I'm pleased to state. Anyway, Chief Constable of North Yorkshire Police is David Jones. And he stated on radio last week that, first of all, he stated that he didn't think that the incident with Vanda occurred as it had been stated and reported by the protection community. Wrong answer. He should have said that he hadn't reviewed the evidence and would obviously not make a statement until such time as he'd reviewed the evidence. So this is a clear discriminatory statement. So I know that the feeling in the community across the weekend was certainly one of frustration, annoyance, and they were greatly disturbed, many people greatly disturbed by the behaviour of North Yorkshire Police. So this is the response this morning. And so we have a 4-person lock-on here. Apparently the theme is don't frack our bats. So let's go and meet the people that have decided to up the game here and have locked on. So, morning everyone. So we'll start. Well, we have to start with Sue. So this is Sue Goff. Morning. Now, regular viewers of Fracking Nightmare will be very familiar with Sue. So Sue, what on earth inspired you to be laying on the road here with your arm in a barrel?
We don't want fracking. We're not going to have fracking, and we're not allowed to protest, so they think, in the roadside. The police's idea of peaceful protest is that we stand on the verge, either side of the gates, and wave a placard. Well, I'm sorry, that's not what it takes. We are allowed to disrupt proceedings of Third Energy by law, and that's what we're doing.
Now, the industry, the government, and the lone pro-fracker in North Yorkshire always claim that the only people who object to this are people who come in from outside.
Yeah.
How far have you travelled to come here?
Less than a mile.
Less than a mile?
Less than a mile.
So you clearly live very close here?
I do, yes, and everybody knows where I live, so yeah, I do.
And what makes you concerned about this industry?
Well, fracking, everybody should do their own research, and it's clear that fracking causes harm to health and well-being, the landscape and the air and the water that we breathe and we drink. And I'm doing it for my 3 tiny grandsons. I'm not prepared to stand by and let this whole countryside be ravaged and polluted, because they have a right to a good healthy life.
We're filming.
Yeah, good. Adios, and we'll see you in a while. So, Sue, how long are you prepared to stay here?
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like you're going to be moving anytime soon.
No way, no.
And then imagine my surprise when I discover that Nana Lock-On is the other side of this device. So, Lou, this is really almost your second home now.
Absolutely.
I gather you can't sleep unless your arm's in a tube. So, I mean, you've obviously been involved in this campaign for a while now, but, you know, what has made you change your life to sort of devote time to sticking your arm in a tube?
Because this is the only way we're going to stop this industry, is to shut the sites down for the full day, every day, for a week, months. And this is the only way, I feel, after doing this for 5 years, protesting against this dirty, dangerous industry, the only way we can stop it is to do this. So, and that's the reason why I do it.
Okay, well, I think you could be here for a while.
Yep.
The PLOs are actually suggesting that you might want to move, but I think you might have something to say to them.
Frack off!
Okay.
Morning, Ian. How are
Morning.
you?
And over here, sorry, the PLO's just wasting his breath at the moment.
I wanted to make you aware of that. As long as you guys are aware of everything to do with that, that's fine.
We may
have considered that. Brilliant, that's absolutely fine. Okay.
So if you had actually done your research, of course your arm might be in a tube. So anyway, Becca, this is Becca.
Hi.
Hey, and you're stuck in now, Becca. I think quite a number of people have seen the very disturbing video of you being chased by the police last week for standing, filming with your back against the hedge, not in the way, right up on the verge. You were chased, rugby tackled, and subsequently arrested. And I mean, it was very disturbing footage. But is that what's inspired you to be here today?
Yeah, that, and I'm just sick of society being bullied by people that's supposed to protect us. So let's stand up and be counted.
Well, thanks very much for being here. Thanks for putting your arm in the tube.
Yeah.
And then we have Michelle here.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle. This is—I don't think this is a particularly regular experience for you, is it?
No, it's
Have you ever done anything like this before?
No.
No? So what inspired you to do it today?
Well, we aren't really allowed to do anything else, and we really wanted to draw attention to the issues with the bats, and the fact that planning permission was given without a thorough bat survey being carried out, and then after it was carried out, even though the bats were found to be present, the planning permission was still allowed to go through. And Friends of the Earth lawyers have done an amazing job at highlighting all of these issues, and so we want to highlight that and make sure that it really gets out there. But we do also want to say that Friends of the Earth had nothing to do with this action. So yeah, that's why we're here.
Okay, so and then of course you're watched over by Dave and Dave.
And Dave.
And Dave, and there's a lot of Daves here. You know, who are obviously affording you protection, your own protection, from going that side of the fence. Anyway, so you look like you're here for the duration, yeah? Yeah, okay. Well, and you got a lot of support here from the local community. And there's the two people who made national figures by the Daily Mail last week, Jackie and Jim. So, is that the first time you've made the national press?
No, we've been in the press before as Santa and Holly.
Santa and Holly?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to know what you were doing
And
then.
we supported Water Aid years ago as well. We did a big lunch to raise money for that.
And you guys also are live very close to here, don't you?
Yes, just across the fields there in Little Bath.
So the suggestion that the only people who object to this are those who come from out of town. In fact, the truth would be the only people who do this are those who come from out of town.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, John Dewar doesn't exactly have a North Yorkshire accent, does he?
He doesn't know.
No. And Paul, you've been a regular supporter of the campaign here.
Yes.
And
yes.
Whereabouts are you from, sir?
10 mile up the road, Ian. Yeah.
So right in the heart of a licensed area.
Yes, wonderful area, and don't want it to happen at all. Anywhere in the country.
Let alone right here in beautiful
No,
North
and
Yorkshire.
we don't want it anywhere, Ian.
Yeah, no, absolutely we don't.
Yeah.
So, any of you guys in fancy dress want to comment as to why you're here? No? No? Would you like? Are you local?
Morning, sorry, sir.
You live in Yorkshire?
I do, yes, I do.
Yeah. And you're quite happy with this industry being in your county?
There's nothing I'm going to say about what's happening here. We're here just to assist with facilitating peaceful protest.
Facilitating peaceful protest, but your chief constable says that peaceful protest has been suspended.
Well, I'm not going to get involved in an argument with you about that.
Well, you've got no option. Right, because we've taken it back. You took away our 10 and 11, Articles 10 and 11, so we've just taken it back. Deal with it.
And here's lovely Barbara. This is Nana Bail conditions. Visiting from the other side of the country. Yay! And Lynn from York.
Hello.
Hi Lynn, you've also been a regular supporter here.
I have.
And what's your thoughts and message to these people that are lying down with their arms in the tubes?
Well, they're just fantastic, aren't they? They're heroes for us all. Keep it up. We'll help.
Absolutely. So there we have it. So for those of you who live within easy reach of Kirby Misperton, please come down and support these people because they're not going anywhere soon. Apparently they've been advised that they might be arrested. That doesn't seem to perturb them too much. So I think it's going to be quite a long day. So Jim and Jackie are here with the teas, the coffees. Yay. The weather forecast was that it would rain today, but apparently that might just hold off. So please come down. This is the first lock-on here at Kirby Misperton. This is in direct response to the police behaviour last week, and of course the absolute denial of any opportunity to protest beyond standing on the side of the road, despite the fact that the government's own guidelines state that peaceful protest may include nuisance and disruption, but that does not make it unlawful. And yet North Yorkshire Police have decided to effectively usurp British law. And if we live in a democracy, then one would like to think that their job is to uphold that democracy, but sadly what they're doing is facilitating the destruction of that democracy. So that's it from the 8:30 live stream. And thank you so much to everybody that's come down here. And thank you, Dave and Dave.
Yeah, nice one, Dave. Nice one, Dave. Cheers, Dave.
This is how security should have.
It is. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nice one, guys.
Northern Security could take a lesson from these guys.
So that's it from the 8:30 live stream. Please share this. And encourage other people to take a look at what's going on at Preston New Road right now, here at Kirby Misperton in North Yorkshire, at Leith Hill, and Broadford Bridge in the south of England, at Lidsey, because this is an industry that, if it gets a foothold, will establish a network of destructive unconventional gas well sites right across the whole of the UK. And as we know, everywhere where this industry has become established, it's left a horrendous trail of devastation. This is an abomination. These people are trying to stop it. Sadly, these people are trying to enforce it. We'll catch with you later. What did we say?
No fracking. We said no. Frack free ride out.
We said no. We said no.